We pray for better days.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Meet Blockchain Show. I'm Nick Larson, your host, and today we have the distinct pleasure of having Brian Mohr, who is a blockchain enthusiast and also a specialist in the restaurant industry, specifically within tech. So thank you so much for Brian for joining us today.
Hey, Nick, real pleasure to be here with you.
Before we begin, a quick shout out to our sponsor, OMF, or to Mine Fund, a blockchain fund for Bitcoin mines around the world. So we're innovating the space in edge computing and artificial intelligence in finance. Is a truly revolutionary stuff. I strongly recommend that you check out our Medium page and our social media. So lots of wonderful content, so understanding the industry trends and where things are headed. But Brian, let's hear about your story.
So Nick, I think blockchain to me represents a really interesting opportunity for a lot of different industries. I think initially we think of it as just finance or maybe some of the fast-growing craze in the U.S. around particular cryptocurrencies, but really the underlying technology of blockchain.
Yeah.
Blockchain's for everybody. My background is a psychology major at Stanford, where that relates to me is I really found an interest in psychology because of the connections and relationships. Connections and relationships are predicated on trust. So from a psychology standpoint, that blockchain really caught my attention there with the speed of business that we can do with trust. Personally, I think food is just such an interesting topic to talk about. We want to trust the food that we eat. We want to know it's locally sourced. We want to know if it's organic.
Right.
We want to know that the handling processes were correct. And so all of those data points can be written into the blockchain, and they're accessible by everybody.
Yeah,
I know.
Accountability. Speaking of trust, tell us a little bit more about how you approach that with your clients.
Whereas trust really comes from three different areas: from formalized contracts or agreements. Trust also comes from familiarity, so just the repeated interactions and the observance of is this a person that behaves in a consistent manner?
Consistency, exactly.
Trust is seen. And sometimes trust is just given off of gut. Sometimes we just have this feeling being with a person, can I trust them? Blockchain allows us to speed up that trust because we can always trust in data. Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to maybe do a quick plug on what you're building, a recent win that you had with a customer?
Yes. I mean, as a coach, I think for me, one of the biggest areas I love to work with people is in the area of self-love.
Yeah.
And slowing down. And so, I work with a lot of high impact, high achieving Silicon Valley rock stars. And one of the things we love to do is just spend some time getting them to appreciate the accomplishments they've had and really just put their achiever brain on pause.
Wow.
To be able to really connect with who they are. And I hope powerful people remember how truly powerful they are.
Completely agree. And that's the cool thing about being in the Silicon Valley, specifically San Francisco. Just the rate of innovation, the rate of change, the new ideas, things are getting built at the speed of light or the speed of trust.
the speed of trust is our theme today. So
yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, Brian. It's been a real pleasure to have you on. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Until next time.
We hope, we pray for better days.